Greetings and welcome to Anita Talks History and Genealogy. So glad you all could join me today. And here we are on the second day of January. We're just barely into 2026, and DJT has declared a war on Venezuela. It's not a surprise to us. We saw it coming a mile away. Before I get started, please don't forget to hit that like and share button. Don't forget to subscribe or join. There's a paid subscription. If you cannot afford it, you can still, join. You can support the channel. We need all the support that we can get to keep us going and growing. So, and also, I want to mention before it passes my mind, that I have merchandise. I have shirts, I have hats, I have mugs, scarves, and that is another way that we keep our channel going. And another way is if you buy my books. I have 7 books. All of them are available through Amazon, through Barnes & Noble, and through most bookstores, or through me if you want a signed copy. And you can contact me at ntaws@gmail.com if you want a signed copy, or you can donate $50 to Cash App $Wheels920, and once you donate, email me with your name and address, and I will send you a signed copy of one of my books. I have 7 books, and they are mentioned. I have 7 books that you are very easy to find. So if you look at my post, the 7 books that I have written, like Notes and Documents of Free Persons of Color, it's Notes and Documents of Free Persons of Color, and then there's the original book, and then there is a revised edition of Notes and Documents of Free Persons of Color. It's Pieces of the Quilt, the Mosaic of an African American Family, Black Minkle, The Life and Times of Henry Green. Then there's A Nation of Flaws, Just Us in the Homeland. There's Along the Rappahannock, the homeland of the Nanzatico Indian Nation. And there's Minkle, Unami, Okioki, and the Downriver Nations. So those are the books that when you purchase them, that also helps me to keep my channel going and to keep sharing information that is not found in the history books here in these United States. Okay? So let's get started. And the reason that I think it's we should pay attention to what's going on, and I think it's important with this incursion into Venezuela by this so-called president. What I want to say to us as indigenous people and as so-called African American people or black people, whatever we choose to call ourselves, when we're trying to approach these people about reparations, and they continue to ignore us, they continue to deny that they owe us anything, although every generation they have stolen more and more from us. We build and they steal, so that none of our generational wealth, and I mean from the time of colonization. So let me go back, because I am indigenous to these Americas. My ancestors were in the Revolutionary War. My ancestors at that point were called free persons of color, and they were in Virginia. And I also had free ancestors in Pennsylvania. But the ones in Virginia owned land. They had land that um, they were that had been left to them, assigned to them because of their indigenous roots. But that land was being slowly stripped away. And so, after, during the prior to the Revolutionary War, uh, my ancestor Raleigh Penn, he was in Amherst County, Virginia. He was a farmer. He had land, and a lot of land. Some of the land was given to him through, not to him, but through his wife, uh, Sarah Evans Red Cross Penn, and she had land. And when she married Raleigh, those laws required her to sign that land over to her husband, and this was common during those days, the pre-Revolutionary War days. So so that became Raleigh's land, and then Raleigh was in the Revolutionary War, and he got more land from the Revolutionary War. So he lived on what is called the Buffalo Ridge. So and that was in Amherst County. The Monacan Indian Nation, to which I am a member, was on Bear Mountain, but they were tribes that were, you know, close to each other, that supported each other, you know, and they were same. They were the same. Sarah Evans Red Cross, her people were Monacan. They were Siouan. While Raleigh Penn was uh, from from Amherst, not Amherst, but from Lancaster County, Virginia, and Wicomico County. So his people were Wicomico Indians from that region, and they had come. He went into Amherst prior to the Revolutionary War. As people, the rumor is that he was a scout, and he was taking some of those people into the interior, probably not knowing that he was, probably not knowing, because by that time they were colonized. Their village was being decimated by those people that were coming, the Europeans, the colonizers. They had to turn their children over to be apprentices. So Raleigh was an apprentice at a very young age, and by the time he completed his apprenticeship, he began moving into the interior, and he probably knew the interior because his father before him knew the interior, and they said that he was a scout. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that those people, Raleigh Penn, my other ancestors, Charles Lewis, they had land. Charles Lewis was at Rockets Landing in Amherst, in Richmond, Virginia. He was a businessman, and he had land. This was land he got after the Revolutionary War. None of that land, the land from Charles or the land from Raleigh Penn, was passed down. That land was taken by squatters who came from Europe and sat on the land and took the land. And they took the land either by hook or crook, so that when these people were dying or passed, their children were not getting the benefits of it. The next generation did not get the benefit of the land. So we're not even into the ones who were enslaved and fought in the Civil War, the ones who were in the Civil War and got no land. That land was distributed to white people. They weren't even, my ancestors who were in the Civil War didn't even get the same pay as the whites that were in the Civil War. Didn't get the land You know what I'm saying? If you just look at the history of this country and the way that these people have treated us, you will not be surprised at what DJT is doing. We have been pushing, we as a people, indigenous people, uh, we as who have formerly enslaved ancestors, have not been awarded the privilege of having our ancestors' wealth passed to us from generation to generation. Yet the Europeans will come here and brag about being somewhere for 3 generations or 4. Oh, we've been here for 4 generations, and don't want us to say we're indigenous. This is the only place our ancestors were. We didn't come here. We didn't come here. I have one traceable ancestor who was brought over from Africa. There are other ancestors who were European. We won't even, talk about them, because I would tell you that probably half the people calling themselves white in the South are related. If they've been there for 6 or 7 generations, they're probably related to someone that looks like me. And they're passing. Yes, many of my ancestors passed. This is from the colonial government and of how they was running this country. They did it not only here, they did it throughout Turtle Island, and they did it in Australia. It's the same thing. It's their same playbook. That is what I want to say about Trump and what he did, what he's doing in Venezuela. The reason they don't apologize, why they don't want to give us reparation, is because they have no intention of changing their behavior. They are always, not all of them, but we know who they are. We know who they are. Their methods are not changing. They have the hope of re-enslaving black and brown people. People, that have been here, the indigenous people. All of us did not die. All of our ancestors did not die. Think about that. So, the point I'm making is that Trump going into Venezuela is a natural progression of the continuation of slavery. What does he say? Listen to what Trump said. We are going to run Venezuela. That is what the colonizers said when they came here to our ancestors' country, to our country. We have discovered a new land. This is what DJT is doing in Venezuela. Their playbook has not changed. This is why even the most liberal of them, will not even, give us a serious discussion about why they don't apologize for slavery, why they don't want to give us reparations. They have no intention of changing their behavior. It's no different than what the Zionists are doing to the Palestinian people. They're so comfortable with it. Look at George W. Bush Jr. went into Iraq, used a lie and a pretense to go into Iraq when they said that those people at 9/11 that attacked the Twin Towers, that came here and attacked, pulled and staged an attack, were from Saudi Arabia. Why didn't they go and invade Saudi Arabia. They didn't need to because Saudi Arabia was already working with the United States. Iraq, that's another oil. There's some more oil there. There's something there that they want. It's the same way in Venezuela. It is not about drugs, darlings. It is not. The United States manufactures drugs. Come on. Think about what they are telling us and do some critical thinking. Do some critical thinking. And I'm serious about that. I was in a hospital in August and they gave me fentanyl because I had to have surgery. That didn't come from South America. We manufacture fentanyl here. You think we don't know how to manufacture fentanyl? What about OxyContin? That's a drug. And when you get a hold on, you get you slow down the fentanyl that's coming into the community that they're giving to people and it's killing people. Then they come up with another drug. Who has the labs and the technology to do that? And you all believe that it's all coming in from South America. You got to use your mind, like the old folks would say when I was growing up. Use your mind. Think. If anybody's flooding the world with drugs, it's probably these people right here in these United States. We need to wake up to what's going on. They are in Venezuela. They arrested Maduro and his family. So even, we know Maduro was just he's in his own country, minding his business, taking care of and trying to provide for the people who he represented. And you go there and arrest him, not only him, his wife and children. What did his wife and children do? Why would you kidnap those people and bring them here? Because you can. Because there is nothing stopping this, the colonizers. It's frustrating. Nothing is stopping them from just doing whatever they want to do, like cowboys, running around, and they kill people. They drop bombs in Venezuela. Probably killed some children and women, innocent civilians. Do you think that they just killed, somebody would say, they killed Cubans. How do you know? How do you know? It's just insane. And we keep expecting these people to change their mindset. And instead, they get more, they dig down and get even more immoral as we go along. Trump is trying to deflect from the Epstein files. From Jack Smith's testimony. He is trying to deflect, but he is not the one making these decisions. It is his handlers, knowing that they can use anything that they say, as depraved as they are, he's going to go along with. They're his handlers. They know the man is mentally unstable. They know it. I don't think that Trump is going to make it through this year. They want a war before the complete meltdown of DJT. They want a war started. Israel wants us to support the war against the Palestinians even more than we're already supporting it, our tax dollars. And my thing is this, and I'm not, I am not saying America first because somebody else said it, especially those people, some of those people I don't even agree with they're saying. But what I'm saying is that the United States, that the people here in these United States who are paying taxes, who are voters, have a right to benefit from our taxes. Those of us who have been here deserve the right to benefit from anything that this country is, any money or resources coming into this country should benefit the taxpayers first, period. And the fact that they are trying to, what does he say, deflect. They're trying to deflect. So now we don't have health care. We don't have a Congress that's representing us. This is what happened during the Revolutionary War. The breakdown of the government. And Trump is not capable of governing these United States. We have a rogue government that is, DJT is the head of, but his handlers, those people who are more concerned about what is going on in Israel, that are more concerned, those corporations that are concerned about stealing the oil that belongs to the Venezuelan people, with this weak claim about, oh, they're selling drugs over here. That's a lie. If you all was concerned about drugs, you wouldn't be given the biggest Latin American drug dealer a pardon. They're not concerned about drugs. They're not concerned about the people here. And we know it. It's not whether we know it, it's what are we doing about it. And it's a continuation of what they have been doing since they came here and colonized the Americas or Turtle Island. It's the same thing. They will have a so-called liberal government come in. Oh, we're going to take care of the people. We're going to make sure you have housing. And we have all these wonderful programs. Schools are funded. People, everything is good. And then the next administration that comes in tears down everything that the previous administration built. And then it's a vicious cycle. And so this man is getting us in a war with a country that poses no threat to us, with a sovereign nation. And so even if we get rid of him and the Dems come in, they'll keep the war going. And I hope they prove me wrong. But that is what happened during Vietnam. The Republicans start a war, the Democrats come in and keep the war going. And we're getting ready to be in a situation similar to Vietnam. And this is the last thing I want to say, that we are not having no more wars on foreign shores. You're not coming and taking our young people, another generation of young people who are already struggling, can't buy a house, they're saddled with student loan debt. They're being thrown in jails for little or nothing, sent to prisons, taken, and their lives destroyed. But yet, you want these young people to dedicate their life to an imperialist war. And that's not going to happen. We will not have no more wars on foreign shores. By the way, Trump got troops in our streets. He's sending. He has the National Guard, which finally he claims to be withdrawing, but he lies so much. How do we know? He got ICE all up in the neighborhoods. We're already occupied here in the United States of America. So let's let them know that there are not going to be any more wars. Where our children go to fight and die. Their future is stolen only to benefit corporations and capitalism. We are supposed to be a democracy of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's who we are. That's what we're going to fight for. That's will be a continuation, even though they're the ones that claim, oh, America's a democracy, and do everything to show the world that this is not a democracy. It is an imperialist nation that goes around, oh, yeah, they bombed Nigeria. No explanation, nothing. So just going around, bombed Iran, just looking for a war to deflect from the fact that America is losing power on a daily basis. Most of our, when you order clothes or whatever items, I ordered some items the other day, and guess what? Canada is coming from Canada. So Canada is, they're separating from the United States. China is, no longer a trading partner. We don't even have trading partners. We don't have workers. The migrant workers are gone. We don't have trading partners. This is a barren nation. And now this man is going to Venezuela with who and to do what? There's nobody that's going to go over there and put their lives on the line for DJT. Not even his own people. And I'm going to close with that. You all have a good day, and keep on, keep tuning in. This is Anita Talks Genealogy.